This is the Chazara of Gemara and Eruvin DAF Mem Vav. We pick it up on the bottom of Mem Hey Amid Beis, the two dots, 7 lines before the white lines. Amar Amar. Yontif, we talking about this pit, and we said that on Yontif, Harin Karagli Kol. I'm sorry, we're talking about the rainwater that fell on Yontif. Harin Karagli Koladim goes by the feet of any person. Says the Gemara about Ma'alik Ne Shvisa Bo Kindness. Why didn't the rainwater be kind of the Shvisa while it was in the ocean? Lema the Rav Elazar. Seems like the opinion of Rav Elazar. The Rav Elazar Amar Kolam Kolamena Kindness. Who should I say all the water in the world comes from the ocean? Seemingly this doesn't go to Rav Elazar. Amar Rav Yitzchak no. Achabav Shedizgash Ben Yontif. You saw the clouds in Erev Yontif. That's why it's not kind of the Shvisa in the ocean because it's in the clouds. That's kina. Maybe these are different clouds. Says the Gemara this like. No, you have a simon, he knows those clouds. By saying a second teretz, have a suffix the rain, it's a suffix, you're right, suffix the rain, therefore we're going to be makel. Says the Gemara, but like the Shvisa above him, wanting kind of Shvisa in the clouds. We should have a proof from here. Maybe this is a right that there's no tchum above 10 tvachim. The yesh chum, because if there was tchum above 10 tvachim, like the Shvisa above him, we should be cutting the Shvisa in the clouds. Says the Gemara, really, you could say there is a tchum above 10. But the water in the clouds is absorbed in the clouds, and that's the reason why they're not going to be konish Shvisa. Moving on to Ben Vav and Aleph Koshki. Says Gemara 1 second. If they're absorbed into the clouds, now it's Nailan. It's a new entity that came on Yontif. That series should be completely forbidden like Moksa. Says the Gemara, Elamayim Bavim Mina night is moving around in the clouds, therefore it's not going to shviz at all. Hashdas Lachi says the Gemara, kind of so it's not a question from the ocean, from the Bini Rav Eliezer as well. Mayim Bo kind of Mina night, it's moving around. That's the reason why it's not going to shviz. So Vatani learned in the Bryce Naris and Moshe Landis and Oivin are incredible Adam. It is not going to shviz inside the ocean. Why? It's always moving around. Rather, it goes to any person that picks it up. We pass like Rav Yechim and Nuri that the halacha is that you're kind of your shvisa even unknowingly, even while sleeping in Erev Shabbos. Did you hear that explicitly with Rav Yechim and Nuri, or was it implied? I heard it explicitly. My klala. What would the cloud? What would the implication? Where would we know it implied from? We always go to Mekel Be'er. Yechim and Nuri hears the Mekel because he's learning. You get 2,000 amas even when you're sleeping. Says Mara, fine, that sounds great. But Tarti Lavlis, why do we need two things? Why do we need two statements? One that we go to Shimon Levi, and one that we go to Rav Mekel. Sorry, one that we go to Yechim and Nuri, and one that we go to Mekel. I would have thought Ben the Chumrah. You would think even when it comes out to be a Chumrah, like in the case of Chavzei Hefker, that they are kind of Shvisa. Kamash Mallah, and I'll give Rav Mekel. Be'erav. V'leim alach k'divir amego be'erav alach k'divir chunuri lamali. It's exactly like Amina. Ani mili yachid makam yachid. Rav makam ravim. Aval yachid makam ravim. Eim alay. I would think that maybe when it's a yachid v'yachid manuri versus a ravim, we do not go with him k'divir erev, and that's the chiddush. Amalei Rav Labai Mechti. Even the rabbanim al yachid makam mali yachid v'makam yachid mali yachid makam ravim. I don't understand. It's a din derabbanan. So once it's din derabbanan, a yachid should even win against the ravim. Amalei Rabbav l'Rabba. What are you talking about? Oh, the rabbanan lo yishanal bin yachid makam yachid makam ravim. Just because din derabbanan a yachid even beats a ravim. Nice. Once 3 months passed, she's in Mesulek is damim, and now if she sees blood, she only is medamim from this moment onward, and not 24 hours prior. Tani we learned to the Bryce. Rabbi Rav Elazar, Lachshen Niskar, Rabbi Pasuk like Rav Elazar that she only is medamim from this moment further. Lachshen Niskar after you heard something, Amar K'tai Rav Elazar this will be B'shas L'chak. Says Gemara, my Lachshen Niskar. What did Rabbi hear? Ilay Lachshen Niskar. They know Rav Elazar here that we don't pass like Rav Elazar. El Karbanan. I don't understand. If we don't pass like Rav Elazar, you can't even pass like him B'shas L'chak. Elo, you know what it is? So lo yiltmar, lo yichs like Rav Elazar, lo Karbanan. We didn't pass him either way clearly. Lachshen Niskar. Then what did Rabbi hear? The Lav Yachid Polygalei. That's not a singular person argues on Rav Elazar. El Rabin Polygalei. Rather, it's a round argument on Alim. Amar. So then, what did Rabbi say? K'tai Rav Elazar, this will be B'shas L'chak. So what do we see? We see that even though it was a din derabanan, still we see that he was concerned with the rabbin opinion, and therefore, Rabbi, what are you talking about? There's no difference between din derabanan with the yachid is allowed to argue with the rabbin. The Gemara says a second reason why we should be concerned with the yachid arguing the rabbin even in a din derabanan. Shemua Karaiba Nayag Shiva of years someone dies within 30 days. We'll see you have to be Nayag Shiva. Shleishim Shiva Shleishim. And Shleishim. Rachaika in a hagis al yom echad. You only know one day. Vezi krevi zi rachaika. Besides Shleishim kreva. Lachar Shleishim rachaika. Divrei Rabbi Kiva. Rachama imrim achashim kreva achashim rachaika. Nagis shiva Shleishim. V'omer Rabbi Rachan Rabbi Yechon. Kolam geshat demotzi yachim mekel. V'ram machmirim. Alok divrei machmirim. Go to machmirim. Hamerubim when there are more people. Chot mizu. This case differently. Generally, even by din rabbanon we go to rabbin. But in this case, it's different. Shavli Rabbi Kiva mekel v'cham machmirin. Halok divrei Rabbi Kiva. We go to Rabbi Kiva's house. Like Yishmael, why? The Rishma alok divrei mekel ba'avel. So he can see again a second proof, not like Rabbi, that even in the case of Din Rabbanan, a Yachid cannot argue with the Rabbin. We would generally go with the Rabbin. Moving along to Ben Vavam and Beis Rapap. Excuse me, Rav Abba Amar Itzrich. This is the second reason, as Rashi over here points out. We're going back right now. Going back to what we said in the top of Amud Aleph. The Rav Shua ben Levi said that we pass like Recha Menuri, and we said pass like Divrei Mekel Be'irav. We had one reason why we have to say two statements. Rav Abba says a second reason why we have to say pass like Rav Shua ben Levi, and that we pass like Divrei Mekel. Rav Abba Amar Yitzchak. I mean, I would have thought maybe the Be'irav Chatzeres. Maybe the only Be'irav Chatzeres is what we pass like Recha Menuri. Avo Be'irav Techumim comes to Erev Techumim. Maybe you don't pass like maybe you would not be cutting your shvis when you're sleeping. Shrichos we had to say both cases. Says Gemara, what's going on? Not even the Shalom Be'irav Techumim Techumim Erev Chatzeres Erev Techumim. Where do we see the differentiation between Erev Techumim and Erev Chatzeres? That's not even in the Mishnah. Amar Rav Yehuda Be'irav Techumim Avo Be'irav Chatzeres. When do you need das? Is only by Erev Tchumim, but Erev Chatzeres you always can do. Kazach and other Shalei B'fanav you always have to make Erev Chatzeres. There's no detrimental aspect. Therefore, you can even do Shalei B'das. Shachladim Shalei B'fanav in Chav and Del B'fanav. Rav Ashi Amar, a third reason why we had to say Allah Divrei Rav Yochanan Nuri and Allah Divrei Mekel Be'erev. Rav Ashi Amar Yitzchak Tzachal B'Mino Hani Midi B'Shirei Erev. Maybe that's only once an Erev is in existence to keep an Erev alive. That's when we go Divrei Mekel. Aval B'Tchilas an Erev to create an Erev for the first place. Aim alive. Maybe we would not go with the Mekel. So therefore, we had to say that we pass like Reich Manuri is creating the Erev with the sleeping person. We still go with the Reich Manuri. Oh, now Taimar the Shanala Ben Shirei Erev L'Tchilas Erev. How do we know there's such a differentiation? Now we learned in the Mishnah. Oh, my Rav Yosef Advar Mur L'Tchilas Erev. Said Rav Yosef, I only said this then that you need to have a special shear, food for each and every person. Mazin Shtei Sudais for each person is when you're creating the Erev for the first time. Aval B'Shirei Erev, when the Erev is created and you're just keeping the Erev alive for weeks afterwards. I feel the kol even a little bit for each person is enough. His whole creation of Erev Chatzeres is just why? Just so that we keep the creation of Erev, the people know that it exists. It says in their abundant, and therefore we're going to be more makel once it exists. Rav Yaakov, Rav Zika, Amru. Now the Gemara. So there were three reasons why we gave two statements: Lachar Manuri and Lachar Mekel. Now the Gemara continues with a bunch of klalim. Rav Yaakov, Rav Zika, Amru. Halacha Rav Akiva mechavei roi. We pass like Rav Akiva. Rav Yesi mechavei roi. And we pass like Rav Yesi. Rav Rabbi mechavei roi. And we pass like Rabbi. Lamay Yachasa. Rav Asi Amar Halacha. Psak halach. Whenever you see Rav Akiva, whenever you see Rabbi, whenever you see Rav Yesi, that is the psak halach. Rav Chia bar Abba Amar no matim. We're inclined to go with that opinion. Doesn't mean we necessarily go 100% of the thing. Rav Chia Amar mirroring that if you pass in that way, you can continue, but not necessarily is it ironclad. Kloshan Hazeh Amar Rav Yaakov Reidi, a near Kloshan Hazeh. Amar Yaakov Reidi Amar Rav Yechon Rav Meir Rav Yehuda, Allah Rav Yehuda. Rav Yehuda Rav Yesi, Allah Rav Yesi. Veintzar Chleimer Rav Meir Rav Yesi, Allah Rav Yesi. Certainly, versus Rav Yesi, Rav Meir Rav Yesi is going to win. Hashem Rav Yehuda, Lasa Rav Yesi Bibai. Amar Rav Asi Avan Nidloi made. Versus Rav Shimon, another rule. Rav Yesi. Rav Yesi wins versus Rav Shimon. Amar Rav Abba, Rav Yechon, Rav Yehuda, Rav Shimon, Rav Yehuda. Hashta, Rav Yehuda. That when you have Rav Yehuda versus Rav Shimon, Rav Yehuda wins. Lesa, the Rav Shimon falls away. Rav Yesi Bibai. Ibai lose has the Gemara. Following question. Rav Meir, Rav Shimon, Mai. What about them versus each other? Teku, it is a teku. So now that is all the rules. Now the Gemara comes along and the Gemara says, Amar Rav Meshashia, a new statement says Rav Meshashia, L'sai Lanikali. I disagree. You Rav Yochanan has taught me all these different rules. Lach Rav Shimon, Lach Rav Yesi, Lach Rav Meir. I disagree. We don't go with rules. Says Gemara, how do you Rav Meshashia know that? We're going to try 7 different ways to prove this. Another Rav Meshashia, if you can tell me to learn the following Mishnah. Rav Shimon, our Mishnah. Gimel Chazeres of Psichos Zuzu, 3 Chazeres open up to each other. Oops, Psichos Zuzu Ravin. What did Rav Shimon teach us? Erev Shteimach, he said, the outside guys made an Eruvin, Himself to the middle guy. He Mutar Sima, made Mutar Sima. Ushteimach, he said, the 2 outside guys, Zulu, they cannot make an Erev with each other. Ve'omer, Rav Chamer, Guyam, Rav Alach, Rav Shimon. That is a Psak Alach with this Rav Shimon. Uman, Bali, who argues on Rav Shimon, Rav Yehuda. And what was one of the rules he just taught me? Va'amir, Rav Yehuda, Rav Shimon, Rav Yehuda. So why tell me you pass like Rav Shimon? You should pass like Rav Yehuda. Elo Lav, from here is where Rav Shashi knew, Elo Lav, from Inel Esnayu, Rav Shashi says, I don't go